What up, CBA? All right, let's get a look at this little Everbloom right here. Okay, 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 okay. Then we run out and do. Okay, so we got an A-bomb on the first pull. Then we skip all the other A-bombs. Okay. Okay. Good luck, NEB. It's gonna be a ride. I've done the ski a few times this week, and for whatever reason, well, interestingly, the first time I did it, it was actually like very chill until we got to third boss area, and then somebody failed to bait out one of the arcane trash guys things, and it like killed a few people, and then we on the run, like people were still running back from that, and then we pulled the trash on third boss, and it killed us because there weren't enough people to soak the cinderstorm, and the tank got pissed off and left. And we had so much time left in that key that I'm pretty sure that we could have wiped like 2 times, because even at that point there was still like, I don't know, 10 plus minutes left in the key. And one sec, there's still like 10 plus minutes left in the key. I'm pretty sure even if we'd come back, done the trash, killed third boss, gone to last boss, unless the last boss takes like way longer than I think. What up, Silent? Can I show a mouse over what my mouse over macro looks like? I mean, I use an add-on for it. Click is just this stuff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
AOE. Three, two, one. AOE.
Oh my god, dude. Alright. He's not allowed to be the last guy that dies. That was something else. Jesus fucking Christ. Did I get hit by something else, like, when that happened? Why the fuck did that hurt so much? Okay. That dude is about to get... Yep. Oh, man, I feel bad. I had nothing left to give that fucking... It was obvious what was about to happen right there. Oh my god, and then we broke the stinger out. Okay, let me see if I can bait him. Holy shit, I'm terrified. Okay. Oh, no, 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 no. Bro, like, this... I feel like this is, like, the worst fucking... Oh, man. It's slowly starting to click, like, what double DH means for DPS. And it just means things are getting just, like... What's the word I'm fucking looking for? Indiscriminately murdered. Like, there's no funnel here. It's just blow everything up, and if the wrong things die first, we're fucked. There's just like zero prio damage. Okay, we're not going.
No, he will awaken. We have not yet purified the water. We are all doomed.
Okay, well, I know we're slow because I have Heart of the Wild back for this boss fight, and normally it's like fucking 3 minutes off of being back up or something, so... The good news is that I will get to fuck this boss up.
Fixate. Fixate. 6-8. Six eight. Six eight. Six eight. Six eight.
I have many, many wares. May your feet find good trails.
The forest closes in around you. You will never escape. You are not welcome here.
Right.
Will be purged.
3, 2, 1. Right.
Will be purged.
3, 2. Left. 1.
Water brings life.
3. 2. Left. 1. Right. 3. 2. 1. Right. 3. 2. 1.
Whoa. Did I get fucking meleeed again? What is causing that to happen? No, dude. Ah.
3. 2. 1. 3. 2. 1. 3. 2. 1. 3. 2. 1. 2. 1. 3. 2. 1. 3. 2. Three, two, one. 3, 2, 1.
Do we really bolster the fucking...
Bait. Targeted. Bait. Bait. 3. Targeted. 2. 1. Bait. 3. 2. 1. Targeted.
Oh no, dude. It was a bad time for me to get targeted by that thing. Fuck me. I was just about to start casting my spells, and all of a sudden it's like targeted.
Bait. Bait.
No, you can't. I can't fight it.
Three.
Bro, you god damn it, dude. You really just fucking pulled this fucking boss fucking 1 second after I fucking res, dude. Oh, I'm so I fucking cannot fucking believe this, man. I'm still at fucking 50% health. I have no fucking hots out. Fuck off.
3. 2. 1.
Surely the cold
4.
will make them wither.
Bait.
Get away!
Fuck me, dude. How am I gonna do this? Oh shit. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
3. 2. 1.
Yes, fire! Fire will burn away the contagion.
Three. 2. 1.
Surely the cold will make
4.
them wither. No, they will take you too.
Bait.
All right.
They will take it.
Targeted.
Get away! You mustn't give them another host.
Many deals for a friend of the Grummles. Like you.
Hmm. I think I should have had more healing here for this guy. Did I have a fucking regrowth on him? No, I needed to have a regrowth on him. I spend too much time. I think I get routinely caught on that boss between the first and second Cinder Storms trying to reapply dots to the boss, and I just don't think I have enough globals to reapply all of them. I need to pick a few. Like, I think I tried to get everything back up on the boss. Like, try to fucking rake, get a full rip back up, Sunfire, Moonfire, and I think I just need to be, like, keeping Sunfire and Moonfire up on the boss, maybe rake if I can. But I don't think I have enough time to do all that and get all the hots out that I need to get out on that fight. And if I don't even have a fucking regrowth on somebody before that, that means I have fucked up. I believe this will be a Discord group. You bite, wait, you bite Juggernaut 3. What? You bite Juggernaut 3. Bite. What does this mean? You bite. You bite Juggernaut 3? Oh, bait. Oh, bait. Okay. But I was like, I thought he meant like ferocious bite, and I was like, does he think I'm gonna like solo the Juggernaut or something? Like I'm gonna DPS him down or something? Okay. What do I use to get my nameplates below enemy units? It is this command. And then if you don't like that and you want to go back, you change the 2 to a 0. What's dot prio to keep up? I mean, it kind of changes with the number of mobs. On big pulls, Sunfire, then Thrash, and then I think technically you're supposed to rake basically no matter what, but I don't very often because a lot of times there's certain enemies in a pack that I want to die. Like a lot of times health values in a pack from the enemies will be different, and so I'm not just raking, whatever the fuck. A lot of times I'm swiping for combo points and then trying to put rips on the things that I want to die quicker. So I think it's less overall DPS, but I think it's more prio DPS to, like on the pulls we just did in Everbloom, we would go into, for instance, the pulls with the stingers. So I'd like go in, I'd like rake the stinger, probably like rake stinger, sunfire, or maybe like rake and then thrash and then sunfire the pack and then get back into cat form and like swipe a couple times and put a rip on the stinger, and then maybe swipe a couple more times and put a rip on the naturalist, and then probably get out, refresh sunfire, maybe like moonfire the stinger and the naturalist, then get back in, probably reapply thrash, maybe reapply rake on these two. Yo.
Nope.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Yo. This is the room. I'll pull the toxic swords onto the boss, just darkness, and once they're dead, I'll pull the Festin Sky Screamers. There's a few jokes in this route, so
You'll pull the skyscrapers, or you want me to pull them for you?
who's this? Rogue?
The Mohan.
Yeah, you can pull them for me.
Alright, so once you pull the smallest on the boss, once they're dead, it just go and pull you
Yeah,
those.
exactly.
Just give me like 1 minute to go back to the fast.
How you put a keybind on the action button? Yeah, you can. You can assign it to a key in your
You might have to
keybinds.
pull them one by one because you can't kick them solo, can you?
All right. What's our pull looking like here? A bunch of shit into Razan.
Oh. First pull Rizal.
Sorry?
Huh?
What did you say? Does he even speak English?
I think he asked if we were doing first pull Razan.
Yeah?
Maybe first pull left.
I think the Bloodlust is better on the boss.
Huh?
He wants to go Razan first with Bloodlust.
Rizal first, fine, yeah. Okay.
Bro, I can't believe I'm the one that's fucking translating. That's how you know we've been on fucking EU too long.
By the way, do you want me to help people like run over the small group so you're down faster? You're fine.
The smallies?
Yeah, the ones who on the sun.
No, that's fine. My Avenger shield, I'll get them all.
You are too late, outsiders. The temple belongs to my master now. Soon, Zul will awaken Dazar. Then the Troll Empire will rise again.
We'll see about that, you vile creature.
the orc here?
Yeah.
Wait, so who was supposed to pull the skyscrapers on the first boss?
The DH said he'd do it.
Okay, cool.
Just you're pulling like Rezan near the stairs, but the skyscreamers are right.
Hold on. So
Or
our first pull, I'll mark it our first pull. So I'll pull to blue here. And then we wait until the screamers are dead. You can kite the boss on the first one to the other side of the stairs.
yeah. So that's what I'm asking. Like you'll get him there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Cool,
think it's
cool.
easier.
Yeah. That's right. Making sense.
Just if any raptors pull, just wait on the skyscrapers until they're
Yeah. You can just let me know whenever you want.
I'm missing a buff. Which one is it?
5, 4,
Maybe not.
3,
Maybe I have all my buffs.
2, 1.
I feel like I'm missing a buff. We have our rune, we have our flask, we have our food, we have our rune. Maybe not. I think we pulled the stalker.
Lead the spell.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Bait.
I can meld that.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's strong.
Loss.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Bait.
Fixate.
You can kite towards the stairs to pull the raptors.
Got
Whenever you're ready.
Just wait after the loss.
Loss.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Bait.
Pull it now.
Loss.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Bait.
Bleed the spell, bleed the spell. Oh, I overlapped.
Loss.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Bait.
I'm gonna be fucked with this actually. If we get another bleed.
man was a powerful Loa. Perhaps you will make a worthy sacrifice for Zul.
Protect the priestess. Let no one make it through.
CC.
Prepare for the charge.
God damn it. Oh, fucking wasted my fucking AoE stop on the one that was running to the tree anyway.
On patrol.
CC. CC.
Good, 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 good.
Like, charge is the furthest person, you know, right?
The charge what?
A charge is the baited on the furthest person.
Correct.
CC.
I don't even. This is what I don't understand. It's like, yo, let's get in Discord. Okay,
Is this
let's
still timeable after
let's
that?
get in Discord and not talk. I actually have no idea how free this timer is.
It's usually pretty free. This is a clusterfuck.
CC. Targeted.
I mean, we've got lost man. We'll just take the next trash one first and do a big pull.
Yeah, we can do it.
CC the Augur. Take everything else. What's that?
All right.
I have many lucky doos you like.
It's a shame.
All right. Well, I will say I think it is now probably untimable.
Yeah, definitely.
GG.
All right, GG's.
Right. Yeah.
GG.
Yeah, that's one of those deals where like I wasn't super excited about being the guy baiting because I deal damage in melee. And so when somebody's like, "Yo, can you go bait the Juggernaut?" It's like, okay. But then I did bait the Juggernaut, and then we just let like every fucking wildfire cast go, or not, fiery enchant cast go off. And bait with Grove Guardians, yeah, and that's what I was doing. I was just loop out, drop Grove Guardian, run back in, loop out, drop Grove Guardian. The problem is I would do that, loop out, somebody would not kick the fiery enchant, and then all of a sudden there's fire spraying everywhere. Everyone scatters, and in the scatter, guess what? I'm no longer, or my Guardian's no longer the furthest thing away, so now the Juggernaut charges somebody, kills him. Then the pull goes to shit. Now the Juggernaut's charging everybody because nobody's there to bait anymore. And it's like, on the prio list of things to kick, it feels like, I mean, number one, you hit Mantle. And then number two, it's Fiery Enchant. Like, it's just, that's the one you can't, like, let fucking go through. And we let, like, 5 of them go through or something. Like, of all the things to... If you show interrupts, does it show which things got interrupted? Spells interrupted. 5 wildfire interrupts. So there's 1 enchant, no enchants. Everything the rogue kicked was wildfire. I wish I could see how many... I wish I could see how many fiery enchant casts happen in total. Because I feel like as many fiery enchants went off as got kicked in this key. 1, 2. So there were 4 fiery enchant kicks, and I guarantee you there were at least 4 fiery enchants that went off. That was definitely just people kicking whatever the fuck was being cast, like, whenever their kick was up. Like, regardless of what... Regardless of like, whether it was something that deserved to be kicked, it was just like, oh, I have kick up and the good thing's casting? Sure. Yeah, I'll kick it. See if there's any targeted CC on it. What is crowd control done? Does it show what things got? I don't think it shows. Well, I guess it would show. Blinds, kidney shots. Yeah, it could have been those. Maybe. Yeah, I forgot that wouldn't include crowd control done. Decided the key was bricked. Oh yeah, we had like 26 deaths. It was most definitely bricked. All right, a 27 Everbloom with a Brewmaster. Yeah, fuck it. Oh, we're being picky about who we're inviting as a healer here. Okay, okay, okay. What up, Boris? You getting ready to run your first Mythic Dungeon night, Dirt? Well, I hope you have fun. I hope it's a good time. All right, well, today is going to be a relatively short stream because Shauna and I are going to our youngest daughter's school for a like a holiday lunch thing. Parents are invited to that, and she would like us to attend. So we are going to have lunch with her. And then I raid this afternoon, but I don't think I'm gonna turn stream back on for that. I think I'll probably just chill. Where do we live? Chattanooga, Tennessee. Titans fan? Fuck no. I am a relatively recent Tennessee transplant. I am originally from Kansas, so we root for the Chiefs. What are the stars in the LFG window? Stars in the LFG window. Stars. Oh, you mean that thing? That's the group leader, if that's what you're asking about. It's a crown. Your dad just moved away from Kansas and he lived in Oberlin. I'm trying to think if I've heard. Is that near a different city? I actually just had a ISP guy come out a couple days ago, and he said his wife was from Kansas. He's like, "You heard of Peabody?" I was like, "Nah, man, I heard of a lot of fucking Kansas towns. I ain't heard of Peabody." And he's like, "Oh, you heard of Newton?" And I was like, "Bro, if you have to use Newton as the landmark for where your wife is from, her town must be small as fuck." But yeah, I'm familiar with small Kansas towns. My my mom grew up in a place where, because my grandpa lived there till he died, and it was like the town was like literally basically 2 blocks, like 2 city blocks. There was a tavern and a house to one side of it, and a couple houses across the street, and then 2 more houses on the other side of those. And then my grandpa's house was up the hill from that. And there was like a repair shop thing kind of down the street a little bit. But yeah, I don't know that the town was even one square mile large. You're in Salina? I made it out there a few times for debate tournaments. Do I miss Kansas? I miss people. I don't know that I miss the state all that much. I definitely don't miss Kansas winters. Fuck that shit. And Tennessee summers are like close enough to Kansas summers that it scratches that itch. What shows specs in LFG like that? It is this. You live in North Dakota. What are the least populated states in the U.S.? Because that's got to be like, it's got to be up there, right? That's got to be like top 3 at worst. Wyoming, Montana, South Dakota, then us. See, like, I knew a North Dakota resident would actually know this statistic. Don't even have to look it up. Just know. Yeah, it was us till 1983. Then Wyoming took the top spot. Am I a reader? I mean, I've read some novels in my life. I used to probably read more than I do now. I actually haven't sat down and read a book in at least since I moved in with Shauna. And really since I started streaming, I don't know that I have read a book since I started streaming. Kansas winters seem brutal. They definitely can be. They get plenty of snow. And then of course we're going back up to Kansas for like between Christmas and New Year's to see my parents and my sister. So Shauna's all excited because she's hoping there's gonna be snow, and I'm like, please God, like if I don't see snow again for the rest of my life, it'll be too soon. Fucking snow, man. Eldest decided she's going to college or not. We're still kind of playing around with that decision. Well, I think we're more on the like she's going somewhere, but we're deciding kind of what level of somewhere. Come to Arizona. I actually went down to Arizona for Royals spring training. I went down with my buddy. That's actually that trip. What ended up being the most memorable part of that trip, in hindsight, was he asked me if I wanted to go down over spring break, road trip down to Arizona, watch him play in the Cactus League down there. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. Sounds interesting. So we went down, watched some of the Royal Spring training games. But on the car ride down, he gave me a book that he'd been reading. And he's like, yo, I think you'll like this. You can, if you want, you can read this. Because he and I traded off driving on the way down. So while he was driving, I was reading the book. And that book ended up being Moneyball. And it was one of those things where I can like trace back exactly the moment where advanced metrics sort of entered the zeitgeist of sports, because I remember reading that, and at that point nobody had heard of Moneyball. Like I had no idea. You know, he just handed me this book, and he's like, "Yo, there's this like this stuff," because he's been like a super baseball nerd like his whole life. So he's like, "Yo, you should read this. Think you'll like it." And he's like, "It's about advanced stats." And I was like, "It's about fucking what, dude? Like, holy fuck! Do you just want me to go to sleep while we're driving down there?" And he's like, "No, it's well written." He's like the author, Michael Lewis. He's like he can tell a good story. I was like, all right, well, fuck it. I guess I got nothing else to really do in the car. So this was like before smartphones let you just like doom scroll. So we read Moneyball there, and by the time I was done with it, I was just like, Jesus Christ, dude. I think that book changed my life. Yeah, I kind of forgot like the rest of the trip what we did. But I can remember the exact moment where I learned about the wide world of advanced stats. If you go to Flagstaff, it's colder due to elevation. Flagstaff's still the trippiest. When we drove through Arizona, we went through Flagstaff. That's still the trippiest. Probably geological sort of, I guess call it like a phenomenon, but we were driving through, because this was like mid-March, mid to late March, whenever the fuck spring break was. And I remember we were driving through Arizona coming from New Mexico, and I want to say the temperature was like in the high 70s, low 80s as we were driving through it. And then we started up into Flagstaff. And within 20 minutes of being at the base of Flagstaff up to actually entering Flagstaff, it went from being sunny and like relatively warm to snow still on the fucking ground, like 40-degree weather. Drove through Flagstaff and then descended the other side, and then 15 minutes after leaving Flagstaff, it was back to being like in the 70s and sunny. And it was just like, what the fuck just happened? Did I dream that? Like, I like check my buddies, like, there was snow on the ground, right? Like, you saw that. I didn't just fucking imagine that, right? And it was weird as fuck. One C is how many Fahrenheit? It'd be like 34 Fahrenheit. 0 is 32. So, yeah, 40s would be in the like low single digit Celsius. Well, high single digit, I don't know, somewhere in there. When is Mistweaver better than Resto Druid? In which cases? I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's an explicit, like, here's when you play Mistweaver, here's when you play Resto Druid. The strengths of Mistweaver relative to Resto Druid. Mistweaver probably has the best single target healing kit in the game. It's, I mean, just being able to do Soothing Mist, like Vivify spam, has always made Monk strong at that. Like Soothing Mist and Enveloping Mist and a Vivify. Like, Monk's always been really good at single target healing. But then with the two-piece they have right now, it's like a different animal. So for mechanics like Crushing Depths in Throne, or like Etch in Waycrest Manor, things like that, where like one person gets picked with an ability and they just need to be fucking pumped. Mistweaver does a better job of that than any other healer, and really it's not close. The only way that a druid even like remotely competes on that is if it's got like 2 clear cast procs stored up or something, and it can just drop like the fat nourish into that target a couple times. But the ability for a monk to just like sit there and continuously spam healing into somebody for like a relatively low. You're not sending CDs on that. It's just, you know, it's like you renewing mist them and then just lock in soothing mist if you're gonna need to heal long enough for that to matter. So it doesn't. It's like not even. There's not even like any cooldowns associated with that. So Monk's really good at that. Monk does a very good job of healing big pulls relatively effortlessly with Phaeline. As long as the pull's not doing like insane kinds of damage, with sufficient targets, just dropping Phaeline and spinning on it will do a good chunk of healing on big pulls on Monk. And then Monk has relatively low or relatively short cooldowns, like Chi-Ji being up every minute, Shayloon's being up if you're running the talent every 40 seconds, or you could send it even faster than that if you're willing to accept like a smaller one. Monk's got some relatively meaty cooldowns that come up pretty quickly. Now, Druid, I mean, if you're running like Flourish and Convoke, Druid's healing profile's not dissimilar to that. But Druid doesn't have anything like Shayloon's Gift, where you just press it and everyone's health bar just instantly goes. Monk has, I would say, a better Dispel kit right now than Druid with the dungeons that are in the pool. I don't even know what the fuck you dispel with curses this season. It's like if you let the hex go off in a tall, which you shouldn't, like that is a stoppable thing. You can just prevent that from happening. Like relatively easily. Like it's not like if you play really well, it's just like, yeah, like use use your kicks when they're up and like you'll stop everything on that pole. So like the curse in there, and then if somebody eats the stun in Dawn, the swirlies, I guess you can remove that. There's some curses at the end of Darkheart that, again, like, those are kickable. Oh, yeah, and then Waycrest Manor boss. I forgot about that. You can dispel one. But again, that one feels so... Like, you're going to have to heal a bunch of people through it anyway. Like, being able to remove one of them is sort of like... Cool, I still have to heal, like, 3 of them. I'm probably using AoE healing CDs anyway. A lot of times I don't even press the fucking global to dispel it. Because it's just like, yeah, I'd rather use the GCD to throw another heal than to dispel it. Matron puts one on tank. I think you're right about that. I think you are right about that. I don't even know how dangerous that is. Actually, I think the Matron one is now on... That's the one that goes on DPS. I think they changed the way that works, and I think that's the one that goes on the which one is the curse? I think Dread Mark is the curse, and I think that one goes on DPS now. That one actually does hurt. That actually might be the most meaningful curse to spell. Witches have a curse too? Oh yeah. It's like a little bitch curse. Like it doesn't. I don't think it does fucking anything. Where is it? The runic mark. Yeah, that one's like trivial. I usually dispel it because there's like nothing else to dispel in there, but I honestly don't know that it does anything if you leave it. But again, we're gonna get to where I suspect the season will involve a lot of mages. So you're probably going to have one curse to spell in your group regardless if you're playing meta. Now, if Prop Pally becomes meta, you probably have a disease to spell in your group as well. But I feel like there's more diseases that I care about removing in dungeons right now than there are curses. Thorns is a big one. Thorns is fucking disgusting. Being able to remove the diseases in DHT is nice if you don't have a tank that can get rid of them. The ones from the bat things at the end. What are the other diseases? You can technically dispel one on Volcall. That's kind of the same idea as the one on the curse on Sisters. I don't know that I really care about being able to remove one of those. But you can. I don't remember if there's any in Dawn. I don't think so. Actually, now I talk about it, like once I say it out loud, I'm not sure that it really matters which of the, I don't know if there's anything super impactful either way. Throne? Does Throne do diseases? What is in Throne? Oh, yeah, the shit in the last hallway. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that was actually, I forgot about that. Yeah, that gauntlet hallway. Those are diseases. That's very nice to be able to dispel that shit. Yeah, it's definitely nice to have on that one. But yeah, I mean, I think both Mistweaver and Druid are strong healers, and they can do some of their healing is like similar in the way that the like profile of it. Like without cooldowns up, I think Druid is probably a better like sustain AoE healer. Mistweaver is probably a better pure single target healer. Their cooldowns are like similar in duration, like a cooldown duration. They come back up relatively frequently. They each have like kind of two notable, you know, Shaylun and Chi-Ji versus Convoke and Flourish, or Treeform and Flourish. Now Monk has Revival, and I don't run Trank and Keys. And I would much rather have Revival than Trank, because Revival has like a cool dispel component to it. Trank doesn't do shit. And Druid does more damage. Monk does more damage while healing. Monk's probably got better like stopping ability on packs, like leg sweep, rop, paralyze. Those are all really nice. A kick that doesn't require you to shift into fucking cat form to use it. Incapor is nice, and if you play kick on Druid, you have that. But Monk, you're gonna have like rop. No matter, you don't have to like, you don't have to go out of your way to do these things. You're gonna have rop. You're gonna have leg sweep. You're gonna have kick. You're gonna have paralyze. Those are all things you can just take and not really like worry about it. On Druid, if you want kick, you have to contort your tree to do it. So it's a little less of a gimme. What's Prow during Chi-Ji to heal? Honestly, I have no fucking idea. I think I've thought about this a little bit in terms of like how I would try to use Chi as like the most useful form of healing, and I think the best way to use Chi is to wait until the damage is about to start, and then I used to feel like prior to Chi Cocoon becoming a thing, I used to feel like I needed to press Chi like right as damage was starting, or else I'd fall behind. Like by the time I actually started my ramp, if I wasn't like basically ready to slam a button as soon as Chi started, people could die before I really started getting healing out. Now with Chi Cocoon, I feel like I would basically want to press Chi sort of as the damage is starting and let the absorb get eaten through a little bit, and then try to slow, like if you're opening up your Chi with the 4 stack of teachings, that first blackout kick you press is gonna just do like infinity fucking healing if you have Essence Font out on the group. Like if you have Essence Font out on the group and you have a 4 stack of teachings, that first blackout kick you do is just everyone's health is just gonna go and then I feel like the rest of your Chi is not going to be that good. Like you're not going to have any dramatic movement like that. I mean, you'll still do strong healing for the rest of it, but I feel like a lot of my Chi feels like I need to maximize that moment. I want to try to do as much healing on that first 4 stack as I can, because that feels like that is, you can just, it's like a group wide fucking lay on hands. Okay, let's see here. Well, we're starting to get to the point now where I'm... the lunch that we're having with our daughter is at noon, and I think we'll probably need like 10 or 15 minutes to get over there, which means we're probably leaving in about 40 minutes. So if I don't get in a dungeon really soon, I don't even think I'll have enough time to do one necessarily. Bro, I just feel like every key is capped at 27. Like, it's like just fucking... Ugh. Saverin, thank you for the resub. 12 months, aka 1 year. Love it. Appreciate it. Congratulations on your new Gold Mondo Babe sub icon. Thank you for your continued inclusion in the jdotbabes. And that just made me realize I missed Axina's resub. Thank you for the resub, bud. 17 months. Appreciate it. And thank you for your continued inclusion in the jdotbabes. Get anything useful from completing Emerald Dream Story? If you play out the campaign far enough, there's some point where you get a heroic crafting item. I don't know if that's the end of the Emerald Dream Story or at some point short of the end of it. I'm not sure exactly how far that is into it, but eventually you get a heroic crafting item, which can be used to save some aspects while crafting if you want. Otherwise, not really, I don't think. Do I list my key? No. You get the enchant after killing Frack by default the first time. Fucking seriously? Dude, I actually played out the campaign like on 3 different characters for that shit. God damn it. Oh yeah. I just saw Raider IO tweet. If you want, you can vote for me. Again, I find it so weird because Raider IO never actually informed me that I was in this thing. I think. Like they never gave me they never gave me a heads up. Somebody else just told me about it. But we're in this Raider IO Race the World First Awards as one of the best memes. Mm. Why are there 27 Everblooms up and they're both fucking balanced Druids? What is this shit? Oh, I'm beginning to think this is a fucking fruitless endeavor. I don't know, man. Something about I'm getting like a bad feeling about this season. I feel like something in Mythic Plus broke last season, and it doesn't feel like it's been capping too fast. No, not even that. Like I feel like there's no, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't have my finger on the pulse of it. But I just feel like there's just not a lot of interest this season. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a lot of interest and I'm just not seeing it. But I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like this early in the season there should be more activity. Thought the number of dungeons run was pretty high. Yeah, and like maybe it is. Maybe I'm just not seeing it, but and maybe part of it's just like maybe I'm just expecting keys to be at a higher level in the pugs than is like realistic. Like I see people timing like, you know, 29s and 30s, and I'm like, well, I should definitely be seeing like fucking 28s in the kit. Maybe I shouldn't be. I don't know. Maybe 28s are harder than I'm thinking. SOD is taking a chunk out of retail. Yeah, I mean, definitely it does feel like there were people that might have otherwise done keys that were lured away by SOD. I'll be honest, even I thought about, you know, and I've like never really given much consideration to playing Classic, but when they announced SOD and they had the new runes and oh, there's some, you can have cool new combinations that never existed before, and it's like, maybe I give that a little gander. Still just Classic with a funny button? Yeah, maybe. Bro, I need a fucking haircut. I think I'm gonna get one tomorrow. God bless Google, by the way, knowing too much about us, because I was thinking about going and getting a haircut this morning because I was like, it's gonna be a short stream day anyway. So maybe I just take the morning off, go get a haircut, and I open up my phone to look up the barber place that I want to go to, and there was like an activity graph on it for like busiest times of the week. And Monday morning, they have a shitload of people come in. And then for the rest of the week, because they open at 9 a.m., then the rest of the week at 9 a.m., it's like chill. Like after that, after you dodge the Monday crush, then every day at 9 a.m., it's like very light traffic. So I was like, okay, we'll go get a haircut on fucking Tuesday or something. And I feel like I dodged sitting in line at that barber shop for God knows how long. That place did have a, but I've been there 2 times. The last time I went, I got in there right at 9 a.m. I was the only person there. I got a haircut instantly. It was sick. The first time I went, I got in there and there were like fucking 5 dudes in front of me, and I think I ended up sitting there staring at the ceiling for like 30 or 40 minutes waiting for a chair to get open. And like, fuck that. I don't want to do that anymore. Ain't no place in Chattanooga cutting your hair well enough to justify sitting there for 40 minutes waiting for a chair to open up. Wish they would do more than just one mega dungeon each expansion. I wish they would do 0 mega dungeons each expansion. I don't remember the last mega dungeon I enjoyed. It definitely wasn't. It definitely wasn't Dawn of the Infinite. Tazavesh was okay. Gambit was based. Streets was too many fucking bosses, but probably my favorite. Tazavesh is probably my favorite of the mega dungeons. Fuck. Mechagon. That place was dog shit. And I mean, Karazhan doesn't really count in my opinion as a mega dungeon because it wasn't a mega dungeon. It was a fucking 10-man raid, and then they just converted it to a mega dungeon. But half of Karazhan sucked ass too. Upper Karazhan was one of the worst dungeons that they've probably ever released in Mythic Plus. Lower was alright, but probably still like too much. Just too many fucking bosses running around and shit. It was cool as a raid. Like, Karazhan was cool as a raid because of how big it was. But in a dungeon, I'm like, man, I don't want to run around this fucking much. And yeah, they fuck the tuning up in the mega dungeons so bad every time. It's just a guarantee that I don't know if they would publicly admit it, but it's pretty clear they don't even try to have the mega dungeons tuned well when the Mythic Plus season starts. They just are like, yeah, fuck it, we'll figure it out. It's just gonna be shit for like a month, and then we'll get it under control. Which I'm not a big fan of. Not a big fan of this. You know, it's one thing when people say like, "Oh, we're beta testing the game for free." A lot of times that shit's like, man, it's an MMO. Like, there's a lot of moving parts. You know, they're not gonna have everything perfect. But the tuning on the mega dungeons has been so consistently dog shit that it's clear they're not even trying. Like, they're not even attempting to tune them before the season starts. They're just releasing them sort of in whatever state and then letting players get fucking mauled by the dungeon for a few weeks and then go, okay, based on this data, let's... And it's like, fuck you, man. Like, it's so disrespectful, mostly. It's disrespectful to be like, yeah, players' time isn't that important. If they go get chewed up by this dungeon for a few weeks, that's fine. We got more important shit to do than release this dungeon in a well-tuned state. So that shit, it just rubs me the wrong way every time. It's probably kind of hard to properly tune when the people doing the most PTR are doing 4 to 5 volcanic keys for 3 weeks. Well, I mean, like, it's not like it's the affixes that are making these dungeons hard. It's not like Murazon's Rise sucks because bolstering exists. Like, the first week of keys, if I remember right, was like some free fucking affixes. Didn't matter. The tuning was dog shit. Everything fucked you up. Like, just looking at the mob fucked you up. Didn't matter what affix was on. It could be some level 20 fortified volcanic keys, the mobs would fuck your shit up. That's the problem. Even independent of affixes, the tuning in those dungeons was dog shit. Can't risk under tuning the dungeon. But we're not talking like, oh man, the mobs hit like 10% too hard. We're talking like orders of magnitude type shit. Like the kind of stuff where it's clear nobody looked at the dungeon. Nobody looked at the how hard shit was hitting, like, at all. These were numbers that were so, like, comically different to the kind of damage you were facing in other dungeons that it was very clear that, like, nobody had spent any time looking at it. And that's the problem. Some of these changes to Dawn were so fast that it was clear that, like, with any data set at all, you could immediately identify which mobs were a problem. Like, within a week or two, Blizzard was like, oh yeah, wow, wow, okay, these guys are, you know, being little terrorists in the dungeon. We gotta take care of that quickly. And then they would, like, roll through and just nerf the shit out of a few things. And it was like, cool. So it was that obvious that these things were a problem, and the nerf was that heavy-handed that it's clear that this was nowhere close to being well-tuned. I don't know what conclusion I'm supposed to draw from that, other than you guys just didn't give a fuck about it at all before you launched it. You only test shit to 2025? Sure, but that's where the mobs are fucking people up. Like, it's not like, I mean, that's just it. People were doing like 25 Atals or whatever in the first couple weeks, and then you're like stuck at like a 19 Murazon Rise because all the trash in there just whips your ass. It wasn't a problem of like, oh man, when you do really high keys, this stuff starts scaling out of control. It was like, when you do your weekly 20, this shit fucking farms you. Like, the level range at which the dungeons became a problem was well within the bounds of what your typical player base is doing each week. These were your, like, 15 to 20 band dungeons where you're going to see a lot of people rolling through that level of difficulty, and the mobs were just way out of whack. And I guess what I find interesting about that is I didn't feel like it was that way necessarily with, like, Throne or Everbloom. Those actually seemed much better tuned out of the gate. There were some issues on PTR with those dungeons where they had to get adjusted, but that's just it. It happened on PTR. I feel like the adjustments to those dungeons after they launched, there were not a whole lot of them. Whereas, and which is two dungeons that haven't been touched as relevant content in the better part of a decade. Meanwhile, you've got Dawn, where you have players running it all season long. Last season, you can tell what these mobs are doing damage wise. At like base difficulty. And then the mega dungeon ends up all fucked up, but like these dungeons that are old as shit and haven't been looked at in a decade are still, so like they're tuning something on PTR, but it's never the mega dungeon. Okay. Push week next reset. Do we know what the affixes are? I can't remember if they've got new affixes this season or if we're... I have a command that shows me the affixes.
years ago.
Affix. What is it?
I'm pretty sure, isn't it affix? No, the fuck?
Affixes.
I swear to no, it's there. Because it's got a little, what is it? Oh, I swear it's there. And that's not what I meant. That's not what I said. Oh my. Do your fucking... Do the thing where it shows you all the commands. It's there. Because it's actually on auto. It'll come up
Is
every
it
once
list?
in a while.
I don't know what the fuck. Is it just commands, maybe?
Yeah. It's on auto. It plays auto every once in a while. Go upstairs. Oh my god, I forgot. No, it is. I swear to God. I swear to God, it's there. I'll find it.
She's high. There's no fucking command. All right, so this week is fort bolstering, or wait, no. This week is this week fort bolstering, entangling. Next week is Incorp and Spiteful. I mean, early in the season, every week is a push week. Is the short answer. Like, as people continue to get gear, every week you'll have better eye level than the week before. People will have better routes than the week before. So, there's like every week is like sort of technically a push week, but I don't think Incorp Spiteful is especially attractive affixes. I wouldn't be like licking my chops seeing Incorp Spiteful. I guess the good news is that I run fucking Imp Nature's Cure all the time anyway, so... Oh, wait, no, that's Afflicted, not Incorp. Incorp. I don't run Hibernate anymore. I'm not doing that shit. Somebody else can take care of Incorp. I don't have enough fucking talents for this shit. That's one of the nice things about Havoc meta is Prison is like a sick CC for that kind of shit. You just turn an instant cast on it. And then depending on what the other I guess if it's like mage, I don't know. Just fucking sheep it or something. I still think it's funny how there's no actual like mages in LFG for these keys, but like all the top keys are mages, which is exactly how it was before God Comp started. I remember having the exact same realization last season before 10.1.5 where if you looked at how many people were playing mage and keys, even if like a relatively high breakpoint, like if you looked at how many people were running keys above like 20 or 25 or something last season, mages made up a relatively small percentage of those keys. But then if you looked at the front page, there were a shitload of mages in the keys. Like all of the highest keys down were mages, but when you looked at the number of mages in general across like all keys or across like high keys, not like world first keys, but high level keys, there were like no mages. But then you get to the very tippy top of the iceberg and all of a sudden shitload of mages. And then they got buffed in 10.15. And now I feel like we're at exactly that point again where you don't see mages out when you're doing your, you know, searching for keys type thing. You don't see a lot of mages. But you look at the front page, it's all blue boys. What makes up GodCon? Well, last season, GodCon, which is like the first time I think really we've had like a name for a comp. There's always just been like, it's meta. I think this is the first time we've ever had like a name for a comp, which I think spoke to just how oppressively powerful this comp was. But it was Guardian Druid, Holy Paladin, Fire Mage, Shadow Priest, Augmentation Evoker. And it was 5 individually very strong specs. Each of them in their own right was very good. Guardian Druid was insanely tanky, did good damage, had pretty good utility. Holy Paladin, especially right after 10.15 launched, it did like infinity healing, infinity damage. It had a kick that a lot of other healers weren't using. It was very tanky. They buffed Paladin survivability by a shitload going into 10.15, so it was like super hard to kill. Then you had Mage and Shadow Priest that paired really well together because the Shadow Priest gave Fire Mage PI. Fire Mage gave everybody int. And so the two of them did insane fucking DPS together and were relatively tanky. And then you had Augvoker that was just like the cherry on top, kind of pulled everything together, made the group a lot tankier in general, buffed the shit out of 2 very strong DPS, kept Guardian, like to the extent that Guardian Druid needed any help staying alive, Aug made it basically invincible. And so each of those specs was very strong in their own right, but then they just meshed like perfectly. You had like all the best buffs for that group. You had Mark of the Wild, Int, Bloodlust, Fort Buff, Devo, Aug buffing both of your 2 strong DPS, PI for the Mage. So you just had like everything. You had strong overlaps on dispels. Like Pally could dispel disease and poison. Druid could dispel poison and curse. Mage could dispel curse. Evoker could dispel poisons, and then anything with cauterizing flame. And Priest could dispel diseases. So you had 3 poison dispels, 2 disease dispels, 2 curse dispels, and then Og could get rid of bleeds if those ever ended up on the group. So yeah, just everything about the comp, it just so much more than the sum of its parts. Oh yes, and offensive dispels as well. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. The Priest could purge, mass dispel, and the Mage could spell steal. You had the Druid could soothe, as could the Augvoker. You had a bunch of AoE stops. Really, about the only thing about the comp that I would say was maybe slightly weak was that your kicks were not in great shape because you had a Mage and a Priest. And Augvoker is not an insane kick either. So you were not flush with kicks in that group. A lot of times you had to be very on the ball with what you were interrupting. But otherwise, the group had just like an answer for everything. Pally kick with pseudo range short CD. Yeah, but even still, it was one of those deals where trading out a caster for a melee in the remainder of the comp was, I mean, of all the people in the group that you want to have kick assignments, the healer is the one that you least want to give a kick assignment to, because they're the one that's most likely to be like busy on an important pull doing other shit. There were a lot of kicks as a paladin that were like really fucking annoying to try to get, because you'd have to try to like Vortex Pinnacle was a fucking nightmare, because I'm like trying to heal people. Like people are potentially getting one shot. I'm also trying to like run in and out of circles that are gonna kill me if I don't time it correctly, or I'm trying to get a kick on mobs that have like floated out of the group, and I gotta like run across the pack to get the kick. Shit like that. And that was the problem with Paladin kick, was like, yeah, the kick existed and you could do it, but it was the kind of thing where you would prefer somebody else in the group have that responsibility, and your kick is like the last resort. You're the guy that gets, you know, like the shaman in Spires of Ascension. It's like, all right, you got the Goliath. That's the only thing you do. You kick the Goliath. You don't got to worry about any other shit. Just kick Goliath. But when you were the paladin in God comp, you became one of the primary kicks. So like, if you didn't get your stop, a lot of times like everything was fucked. And there were times where I remember another one that was really annoying was in what is the name of the place? The old dungeon in Badlands. Oldemon. Oldemon, the second boss in there, when the little ads would run in and they'd be casting. And I remember there are times people call my kick. I'm like, hey, motherfucker, I'm kind of busy right now. You see how everyone in the group's sitting at 40% HP and there's another fucking AoE coming in like 5 seconds? I'm not really trying to track down this mob that just spawned and then find it in the pool and run over to it and kick it right now. Really not high on my list of shit to do. I would really appreciate if fucking anybody else in the group right now could kick that mob and let me focus on healing. Like the VP bosses, all things considered. Second boss is okay. Third boss, just way too one-shotty. And RNG one-shotty. Like that's the kind of shit that I hate, where some of it just boiled down to like, did the boss pick on one person over and over and over and over again? With the lighting. Yeah. And if he did, then fuck. And if he didn't, great. If you like, everybody always has like a defensive they can rotate into their lightning, then great. And if not, if some guy just gets it 3 times in a row, then they die. The end. Is outside of tall just a hanging out spot? Yeah, I guess. Or like the dudes outside of Home Depot every morning. What's up? You building a fence? All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up there because we gotta skedaddle to make it over to the school for lunch. So, wrap up stream here. I'll be back tomorrow to do weeklies. I've got to get the Paladin and Evoker their keys. Maybe send a few more monk depending on how we're feeling, and then count down till these shit affixes go away and are replaced by some slightly less shit affixes, and then do some reclear next week and get some more Tendril prog. And maybe I'll get a Smolderon parse that isn't total dog shit because I died before the last intermission. So anyway, I hope you guys have fun watching. I had fun streaming as usual, primarily a Mythic Plus stream, so if that's something you're interested in or want to learn more about, hit the follow button. I'll do my best to both educate and entertain you, and I will see you tomorrow.